Stephen, thank you for doing this. And thanks for that
Darren.
Instagram follow yesterday. How's your day
You
going?
bet. Oh, good. When I'm not spending all of my time on social media, I'm doing great.
Yeah. And
Drives me
I,
crazy.
I've told this to two of the actors from the film so far, and I'm going to tell it to you as well. I love this film. My wife loved the film.
Great. Thank
It
you.
met all expectations, but I don't think everybody realizes it was like 8 years in the making.
More than that, probably closer to 12 at this point. It's kind of sad to admit it, but these things take time.
The things take time, and it looks like a quality oriented piece that even though you have some big actors in there, it doesn't look like an indie movie at all. It looks like a proper studio thing.
It is so indie, you wouldn't believe it. I remember seeing some comment. I hate to look at comments online, but somebody was like, Hollywood got a hold of the Smiths. I'm like, Hollywood? Are you kidding, dude? This is so far from Hollywood. It's might as well have been made in like the North Pole or something. I mean, come on.
Utica, not the North Pole.
Troy, to be more specific. Troy and Albany.
Well, before I ask you, the usual stuff about the movie, something I was trying to figure out if it's you or if it's Joe. There's a lot of Kiss references in this movie. I'm a big Kiss fan. Was that you or is it Joe?
It was in the script, but thank goodness I was collaborating with another old metalhead in Joe. So I was a card-carrying member of the Kiss Army growing up. Absolutely. That the first album I ever bought was Kiss Love Gun. So before I went new wave, I was like a little mini metalhead. I really did have a lot of metal in my record collection growing up. Very middle school, like drawing Def Leppard on your notebook and all that stuff. So I was a huge Kiss fan, and it just to me, like Mickey and Dean are the same person, just in kind of like different generations in a way. So one might have the Smiths, one has Kiss. They mean different things to different people, but like having moved through both phases, I wanted to stack it with homages to a lot of my own stuff as well. And then Joe got on board and just kind of embellished, and we just grew it from there because we love Kiss.
I love Kiss. I've interviewed 3/4 of the original members and 2 ancillary members. I love Kiss. For me, the musical journey is it started off with the metal, and then it went emo, and then it came back to the metal, realizing there's nothing better than Kiss and Van Halen ultimately. But the Smiths is the middle of the journey. And was it, this part I have no idea about, was it hard to get Morrissey and team on board to endorse this, or was that one of the easier parts?
Well, it's an interesting story. I mean, we, all the films I do are very official. I do them with the consent of all the artists. So when we decided to do this, I think the idea was like write a first draft really fast, and then just see if they'll be into it before you go too much further down the road, because a few no's in a row and you're dead. Yeah. So I got a script written, and then we had the first music supervisor to handle it was a guy in the UK, John Botwood. It was great. And between him and the fact that like Johnny Marr had appeared in my Scott Walker documentary, and that a friend of Scott Walker's managers was managing Morrissey at the time. I mean, there was a little bit of behind the scenes goodwill, a little bit. And then they liked the script. So they all kind of very quickly gave us kind of a thumbs up and a very big 6-figure quote for what the music would cost. So it's like, okay, there you go for it. So that part, we kind of knew we had a little bit of goodwill going forward, but like now, oh my God, we have to actually raise this money and put this film together. That's what took a freaking decade to do, management change, people at the label change. And then with 20 songs, you're licensing a significant chunk of someone's catalog.
Yes.
That is so expensive, and it just tips the economics of an independent film so badly that it was hard to make the math work, so we just we really took, it took forever, and we did get to a point. So really it was like getting the approval, weirdly enough, you would think would be the hardest thing in the world. That was really not the issue. It was paying for it, papering it, licensing it, figuring out the timing, because there came a point when no one wanted to finance it unless they knew 100% for certain we had paid for the music. Like, we can't pay for the music unless you give us money. It was a lot of cart before horse, kind of very nimble producing. And Liz Gallagher came in to actually really run the music supervision. I'd worked with her before. She is one of the best in the business, a great friend, and a tireless worker. I think she has PTSD from the experience. Miracle that she still talks to me, but we got through it.
I was really pleasantly surprised when the film started. I'm not giving away any plot points here. And I heard the opening part to Bark at the Moon, because I thought it was just going to be only Smith songs. And like, what? They're what? That kind of a thing. So that was a great usage right there. I don't think I've ever seen or heard that song in a film before.
Yeah, that was Joe. I mean, we knew, obviously, his character is, it's a late night heavy metal radio station. I think I might have written in girls, girls, girls or something. But again, like, Joe has a relationship with Ozzy and Sharon, and he knows them personally.
Right.
So he was like, aha, let's try to get an Ozzy in there. And then we decided on Bark at the Moon, because we both love Bark at the Moon. And we had a little bit of money to spend on a few other songs. There's like one library track and then a couple really affordable, but really also quite awesome 80s tracks from our friends at Bank Robber Music. Would give them a shout out. But we figured, let's go for it and let's get a really awesome metal song at the top.
So besides this film, besides the Scott Walker documentary that was mentioned at the top here, you've kind of painted yourself into the corner of being the music guy in film. Was that the goal all along, or just a happy accident?
Kind of a happy accident. I got to say, I think after two of them, I started to think, oh, crap, like, this is my life now, isn't it? But then you think, wait a minute. Yeah, this is my life. What the hell are you complaining about? I love it. No, honestly, it's like, it's been the coolest thing ever to have all these stories to play with, and after a couple like passion projects, you just kind of start going, well, what's out there, right? And full disclosure, I turned down the Backstreet Boys film maybe 3 times until my producer, who did Scott Walker, Mia Bays, jumped in with Pulse Films, who are awesome, and said, don't be an asshole, like, let's have a conversation. And it was like a chance to work with people I loved. It was almost like we could tell the story of any band and find something interesting in there if you're working with great collaborators, and there is a story to find and you find a way to tell it. So yeah, I mean, it just runs the gamut, right? Boy bands. I did a Judy Garland film last year. We Are X is one of my favorites, Japanese glam thrash metal with classical overtones. I mean, that was an operatic piece of weirdness. But this was like getting back to like me, like, like, I want to do one for me now. Like, this is my music. This is my story. It was time.
Yeah. In the case of the Backstreet Boys, I did an interview like 2 years ago with Howie D, and I kind of made to the point to him that the Backstreet Boys, if you were just living in this current era, you would just think of them like they were a boy band. But if you take a step back, you'd kind of realize they're the modern day Beach Boys in terms of the number of hits they've had, the fact that it seems like a manufactured thing, but they actually had to take control of their own property because maybe there was a not so great person at the helm of the whole thing. The fact that whether or not there's a hit album, they're playing the amphitheaters this summer, well, COVID aside and all that. So you helped tell a story and make some people respect the Backstreet Boys who otherwise would not have.
And I'm going to tell a secret. Nick Manganiello, Joe's brother, our beloved producer, had their posters on his wall in college, unironically, and I think he went to see them in concert. And I think I made him cry when he watched the film. But yeah, I can't believe we're talking about the Backstreet Boys during an interview about the Smiths. But yeah, it's like these are stories that you don't expect to find these things underneath there. And they were, to them, they were a vocal harmony group. That's what they thought they were. And they can sing the shit out of almost anything. So props to them.
Agreed. A lot of people's IMDb pages has every time they've gone to the bathroom and every meal they've had, and other people, they don't put their stuff on there until it's concrete. In your case, is there a next project that you can talk about?
Yeah. We did put one up there. And I kind of hate doing that, but it popped up there anyway. I'm doing a film on Rock Hudson.
Wow.
We're looking at the whole history of the career, but the focus is on AIDS in the 80s when he revealed his diagnosis, and it was a real catalyst for social and policy change. But we also have access to all the famous Rock Hudson home movies, it's a massive collection. So we're going to dig in and do that. I'm teamed up with friends of mine in the UK, Altitude Films, who put out films like the Amy Winehouse documentary, Whitney. It's going to be great. We're really looking forward to that one.
So in the best of ways, still painting yourself into the corner of covering legendary people, but actually, to your credit, getting full access, unlike a lot of other documentaries out there. So, Stephen, I'm impressed. Well, 2 quick questions, then you're free. First one, do you have a TV recommendation you could pass along to someone who needs a new show to start? And I ask that because you're a director, screenwriter. You would know good stuff.
Oh my God. I just started watching Lupin, right, on Netflix, a French kind of thriller. I love it. It's awesome. Really, really cool. Other TV, I don't know. I've been just up to my eyeballs in Academy screeners up until just recently. So yeah, man, I don't know. WandaVision kind of fell apart for me in the last couple episodes. I just have an issue with things ending with people just shooting powers out of their fingers, and that's the dramatic. That's how you solve every freaking problem. Is that?
Yeah.
I'm just like, here we go again. Yeah, Lupin, really cool, really tight, snappy writing.
And the closing question, Stephen, any last words for the kids?
Put your phone down, buy more vinyl.
But don't shoplift it.
No, I mean, I did, but do your thing. No, support your local record stores, buy more vinyl.
Exactly. Even if there are people like Tom Lennon's character working at them, got to support your local record stores. I'm glad you made this movie. 12 years in the making, 11 years, whatever it was worth it. So thank you for that. I'm looking forward to everything that's next from you, Rock Hudson included.
Thanks so much.
Thanks. Take care.
Take care, man.
Paltrocast.